Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and I am here with more antique and vintage ephemera to haul, so stay tuned. Alright, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I hope you'll stick around. I have been going through boxes and bags of things that I have recently purchased in the last month or so in order to really go for it with my Etsy channel, or my Etsy store, really. So I've been doing hauls, and this was originally a Temu haul channel, but then that kind of went south. So now I'm doing this, pivoting so that I can hopefully still stay relevant. And I know there's a whole world of people out there who enjoy looking at antiques and stuff like that. So granted, it's paper in this case because I'm ultimately a paper junkie. And so yeah, so if that sounds interesting, then let's see what I got. All right, so when Jason came home tonight with dinner, he also brought me two ephemera packs from a antique place he went to today. And I found this shop the last time we were there, and they had, I think it was like $12 ephemera packs, but all the pieces in it were different, and so I liked it, and so I mentioned it to him. They're also the ones that taught me I could use washi tape on my cellophane bags, which I've started using instead of regular tape, because regular tape, for one, you can't salvage the cellophane bag, and two, washi tape you can then reuse. So I got that from this person. Now, he brought me two of these. They're $10 each, and it says mini ephemera pack, so it's all small. So I don't know if I'm gonna think that this is worth the $10, but let's check it out and we'll decide together. And maybe we'll be happily surprised. All right, so how to become popular at a bar. Okay, and go to Held. So this is a advertisement for a place called Held in Florida. Wait, yeah, well, maybe not. Shoot, it says where Broadway, Osceola, and California meet. The phone number is FL29979. But it says Adolf ATS Held, proprietor, Budweiser on tap. So I don't know. I don't know where this is from, but it's a place called Held. And then we've got paper scraps. See, this is, I'm afraid, gonna feel like that one that was $10 that was all Temu stuff, which Temu's a great place to go, but it's not $10 worth, you know what I mean? I'm trying to tell if, like, one side, this side is kind of gritty, but this side is very smooth. All right, then we've got a photo of a Good Food Cafe and Cabins. Oh, Cozy Motel and Cafe in Carthage, Missouri. So that's nice, I like that. And then a farmer's market in Los Angeles, postcard. And then J.B. Hall Dry Goods, Troy, New York. So I don't know if this would have been like a calling card or if this would have been the kind of card that was in a flower basket, you know, when you give flowers. This is the Missouri Botanical Garden. Postcard from, well, it doesn't say, it's not been used. Oh, this is from one of those bird books that I love. One of the Whitman bird books. So we've got the Vesper Sparrow. And these books are in kind of rough shape, so it's not too surprising that it's a little torn here. But, and then it has the Savannah Sparrow on the back. That's the problem with these books, is that the descriptions are on the opposite page where it makes sense. All right, then we've got what looks like one of those envelopes from Temu, which it's a really sturdy envelope, and so it'll be nice in a journal. There is not anything in this one, but there you go. I think I got one of these in one of her other ones that was, you know, one of her bigger packs. And we've got some tickets. And then we have another old picture. Mount Vernon, Washington's home just as he left it. August 10th, 1939 is when this was taken. And then we've got Strengthening the Home Front. A little brochure. Where morale and fitness count. New Frontiers of Service for the Christian Street YMCA. And it's a branch in New York. So nice little, so okay, so there is good vintage ephemera in this. It just feels like there's not enough pieces. A little sticker, another piece of paper, some vellum, which you can print on if you have the right kind of printer. And here we've got an old vintage card, never been used. A receipt from 1981. That's funny. I've thought sometimes about saving my adding machine tape when I use it, but then I'm like, that's dumb, Amy. All right, then we've got some vintage, you guys remember this kind of paper? It's kind of like ledger paper. Plain on the back. A food cost card. I will say there are some unique things in this. I'm just not sure I would price it at $10. So this, your typical family from the 50s with their 2 kids and their nice yard. I don't know what that is. If it's a picture from a magazine, it's not a postcard. And then, oh, a pretty envelope. I could see, well, this would be pretty easy to make, quite honestly, out of your own scrap. Oh, rat killer. Out of your own scrap paper. And if you didn't know how, you could get one of these and take it apart and use it as a pattern. And then, yeah, this kind of stuff feels like Temu. Made to look like a doily. And then this. So, I mean, it has some old things in it. I will give it that. Like, this is old. I mean, it's not antique, but it's old. And these are not new. This is pretty cool. So there's several pieces in it like that. Even, you know, like this is fun. I would probably be more inclined to price this at $8 instead of $10, which is not very different, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts on the matter. But let's see what's in the other one, if it's just a repeat of this one, or because a lot of people, when they make these packs, they'll make several at a time using the same source material. But not everybody does that. Or maybe they make more before all of the original ones have sold. So yeah, so I don't know. I didn't count the pieces in that, so maybe they're just doing a piece count, or maybe they're evaluating the value of the things they've put in it. So this is this would be a nice one to kind of pull apart and use each page individually. This is the Harry S. Truman Library and Museum in Independence, Missouri. Then we have a kind of a glassing, waxy kind of envelope that's got a is this it looks like it could be a sticker, or it's from a book, but there's a line on the back. I don't know if we can see that. Not really, which makes me wonder if it's a sticker. Let's not damage it, Amy. I think it's a sticker, because this feels like sticker paper on the back. So, and maybe that's why they put it in the wax envelope. But I love that envelope. And here's two pretty little girls. It's an Easter pic, or there's a couple other kids in here doing their Easter egg hunt. That'd be fun, ephemera for Easter. Oh, I love this, but it's damaged. Oh, I love this, you guys. I don't know if this was originally a cigarette card or what, but it looks like somebody had put it in an album, and either they tried to get it out of the album and failed, so then they just cut it out, or it met with some other disaster. But I love that. And the reason why I think cigarette card is because of the font on there. A lot of cigarette cards had the birds like that. I have in my coffee shop my digital kit that I created of bird. I took some public domain bird signature cards and made them into like stamps and stuff. So I have that in my coffee shop, and this really seems familiar with that. All right, here we have a St. Charles postage cancellation, but I don't know, it doesn't really say the year. Well, maybe it does. Maybe that's trying to say 1939 down there at the bottom of the circle, but it's original. And then some scrapbook paper, construction paper. Collage. Oh, another one of those bird pages. That's exactly what I'm going to do with my duplicates, is put them in packs. We got a yellow one this time. So I think I got green. So now I think I have pink, yellow, and green. But honestly, you guys, I think I ordered a set of these from Temu. I just don't know if they're as thick. These are really thick cards or envelopes, but Temu does sell these. And then, okay, well, I have a boatload of this particular Trivial Pursuit series in my house, but here we go. Trivial Pursuit card. I think the Baby Boomer one came out in the mid-80s. Some more tickets. This time there's also some trade tickets for a carnival. Another piece of Temu-like scrapbook paper. Another sticker. And here we have an illustrated dictionary page that's got some good patina and images on it. And here is another, okay, H.J. Holmes, dealer in choice groceries, fruit, confectionery, and C. in Manchester, New Hampshire. So business cards. So maybe the other one was just a business card, but that's really pretty. I mean, that's worth something for sure. Area alert card. I don't know what that would have been used for, but so there are cool pieces in here. I just don't think 10 is the right price. So we've got some like from a reader, an old antique reader, a couple pages. And then we have some money from a Milton Bradley game. I'm not sure which game. I don't recognize that money. And a thank you postcard. That's lovely. I love that. So this one I think maybe was a little bit better than the other one. Oh, and then this one is a page from a cookbook where they used to cottage cheese cottage cheese pie. 1 jar of cottage cheese, 7/8 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of butter, 2 tablespoons of cream, 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 eggs, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla. But how do you cook it? Like, there's no cooking instructions. But anyway, now it used to be sometimes people would take old books because they couldn't, well, I don't know, maybe they just had an old dictionary or something. And so sometimes back in the day, they would paste this kind of thing or news articles that ended up becoming like a scrapbook, and they would glue that stuff into a book. But this one, it looks like it was just plain paper. But we've got cottage cheese pie that we don't know how to cook, banana cream cake from Spry. Spry is the... Spry looks like it's the shortening. Then there's potato pancakes, soft molasses cookies, butterscotch cookies, and Edna's rolls. I love this. It says, after you mix it all together, let it rise for 1.5 hours, cut into biscuits, let it rise for another hour, then bake. Bake how? So anyway, more of that scrapbook paper, more pages from one of those Temu kits. And then this appears to just be, it's not rice paper or onion paper. This is probably just vintage typing paper. So that one was maybe a little bit better than the other one, but I still kind of say $8 would be a better price because it's all, I don't know. Part of me judges by volume and part of me judges by the quality of the stuff in there, and it had good quality stuff. I guess I just feel like her $12 kit was a way better value than this $10 kit, if that makes sense. All right, and then he also brought me this deck of cards. I told him I was not collecting travel cards, but he really liked the apples. It's really not, they're not old cards, so I don't know what I'll do with them. But maybe if I have a fruit-themed something or other, I can use them for that. So, oh, and it was only $1.10. So, okay. All right, then we've got, I found this in an antique store, I think. And they're just these cute, like, I don't know if they're calling cards or what they are, but they've got this delicate little sewing on them. Are they all the same? No. Some we have these. They could also be place cards. That is some serious, oh, okay, well, it's glued. So whatever they sewed, this tiny sewing, they glued on here. They didn't sew it directly on. All All right, there's a lot of the wreath ones. And then we're back to, so it's just these two designs. But they look pretty old. So I don't remember how much these cost and the price has been removed. But I like finding old things like, well, obviously, I don't, see, that's the thing. Talking to you guys sometimes, like, you run out of words to say. You don't want to just say, oh, that's pretty, oh, that's pretty, oh, that's pretty. But then you end up saying, oh, that's old, well, duh. All right, here is a bridge gift set. So typically a bridge gift set would include 2 decks of cards and a score pad. So this one includes extra score pads, which is nice. What does this say? Happy birthday to my besties, my bestest friend. Love you. But then the name was scratched out when they donate or when they gave it. So it looks like it was somebody's 79th birthday in 2016. I don't know. So there's other scorecards in here that are not part of the set, which is super nice because I don't have any that look like this. So then the 2 decks of cards. So it's really kind of, I don't know, is this Art Deco? But usually a lot of these, the cover is different, but a lot of them, they look the same on the inside. But it doesn't look like it was ever used. So I don't know if this lady didn't enjoy her gift, but the cards have been opened. Let's see if I can find the Ace of Spades. But I like, so they're golf. Okay, it's golf, a golf theme. You know, my great-grandmother, what is that? That looks like a little twig. I hope it's a twig. That's something else. I'm not picking it up. I'm not picking it up. Okay, so the jokers look like this, which is fun. And then it usually comes with instruction cards. Here's the other joker. So a lot of times the 2 jokers with the deck will look different from each other. But let's find the Ace of Spades. Here's the Ace of Spades, all not very revealing. All right. But yeah, I think it's a twig, but it's kind of, maybe it's from like a white birch tree because it's kind of white and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit, making me think that it's got spiders or something in it. That was a nice set. It was pretty. Then we've got this deck of cards. Fun with numbers. I win playing card. Arithmetic. Deck number 13. Multiplication, age 10 or older. Oh, you guys, I've got some of these in green. But these are old. So somebody will ask the problem, and then whoever's got the answer card that says 6 can play the answer card. And yeah, it's just this really cool antique-y, let's see if we can find a year. Oh, 1951, so not antique, but yeah, I've got this same thing in green, I think, but maybe these are all multiplication. Well, hold on. Yeah, these are all multiplication ones, so maybe the green ones are not multiplication. But if I ever find those, then I could put them with these and have a little set that I could sell in pairs. All right, then I do not usually pick these plasticky kind of things, but this one is Germany. And where does it say Germany? Well, because it's in German. Yeah, the whole thing. So the whole thing here is German. So that's why I picked it up, because I don't have any German maps. And then in the back, it's like, how do I open this? Okay. In the back, it's also got this book, which, so it was from Shell gas station, Volkswagen, and oh, it's like even more little maps. Okay, wait, or is it more like a travel guide? Yeah, it's got hotels, and does it have restaurants? Oh, these are some nice looking hotels. So we've got Hamburg. So that's nice. And then just a index, I guess, of all the places. So I thought that was neat. For one, to get the German map of it. And once I'm done kind of harvesting the map, because it does look kind of torn up, it's kind of got some damage to it. Not a whole lot, but some. But I'll probably harvest this for parts, so to speak. And then I could make this into a cover, although I don't know if anybody would buy nobody would probably buy a journal with that kind of a cover. But I don't see a year, so I don't know if it's at all old or not. I thought it was German, so I had to go for it. All right, then we've got a corn data notebook, and 1956. So it looks like it's just plain paper, but it's got the company's logo and or information on it. Funk's G hybrids won't let you down. And there's a few pages missing in here from the front, but otherwise looks like it was $1 to get some vintage paper and a vintage map, because both of these could be used as ephemera pieces. And we've got another, okay, this was really not enticing to me. And these are the cards that should be in here, but I always check because they're not always the same cards. And sure enough, they were different. So we've got a jockey and his horse and a dog. So I love that. And I can't explain why that keeps happening, except that maybe these cards got gross and thrown away, and so then they reused the box. But it is interesting that we've got red and green, and there's red and green here too. But, oh, I should find the Ace of Spades and see if they're even, what brand it is. Oh, it doesn't say. But it's a really pretty Ace of Spades. So, okay. I like it though. I love finding matching cards. Oh, and then I found these cute little doggies. It said this deck is missing some cards. But isn't it cute? Now, are they all the same? Yes, okay. You never know. Sometimes you come across weird random, oh good, it still had the ace. But I'm trying to think if I've got some, because I try to buy cards in pairs, but the ones that aren't pairs, I leave to the side, and then I try to see if anything, when anything new comes in, if it will match-ish one of the others so I could put it in a set. But those were cute. And those were only $1, it looks like, because it wasn't a full deck. All right, then I found these Christmas seals from 1959. It was, I think, from, okay, so it says Christmas seals help protect the family circle. So I don't know if it came in the Family Circle magazine or what, but they of course look like stamps. And then the back side is Merry Christmas 1948. So somebody laminated them. Now there was a tear in the lamination, and it looks like if I cut around the edge that I might be able to separate the sheets, but they're still laminated. So I don't think I can get the laminate off, but I can maybe at least, yeah, I can separate the sheets at least so that I could cut them up and use them as ephemera that way. But yeah, why would somebody laminate this? Like, I don't understand why somebody would do that. But because that's a whole lot of stamps that could have been useful for something. All right, then I came across a new magazine or whatever that I'd never seen before. This one's December 1949, The Grade Teacher. And so it's got some advertisements that are a little bit different because they're more for school. But like most magazines, it does have advertisements in the back. And it's got music. So I'm not really sure. Well, quite honestly, flipping at it through this, I'm not really sure why I bought this. This one was $2.75. Well, that's a really pretty 7-Up ad. But did I buy it for any other reason than oh, well, it's got pages like that. It's pretty delicate. Fun with magnets. So it's got lessons. So I guess teachers would have liked this back in the day. Some bookmarks that I can cut out. It's supposed to make a calendar pad. I think it does have a calendar page in, oh, and here's some, oh, so you can recreate this with all these little pieces. That's kind of neat. Yeah, okay, so it had this was December 49, so it had your calendar for the next month in here, which I always like finding calendars. So I guess, I don't know if that's a good magazine or not. I picked up 2 of them. This one was $3.15, June 52. So a little newer. But 7-Up was apparently a major sponsor of the magazine. But yeah, ultimately, and I like these like little tickets almost that I can cut out. Ultimately, I get it for the ads, and $3 for a for some authentic ads. It's not terrible. Okay, this one, oh, so here's the calendar for this one. Although that's weird, it's the calendar for the month it is, whereas the other one was the calendar for the next month. So I don't know. But even still, it's got cool letters that you can cut out, all that stuff. My foot's falling asleep, you say, or actually my whole leg? Yes. Okay, this is an IGA ad from 1962. So I thought this would have some good food ephemera. And I couldn't really look at it in the store per se. Oh, but it does have coupons, which is awesome. I love finding old coupons. I did the whole extreme couponing thing probably about 20 years ago when I first, well, wait. No, maybe about 15 years ago. And we just recently used up the last of the shaving cream that I got during that, because I finally got daughters that shave legs, right? So we finally went through all of that. But I love finding the old, so this thing is full of old, of coupons. But it's also got some images, but I will definitely, the coupons will be the primary goal cutting out of this, and then whatever else I can get out of it too will be awesome. This one was from Jacksonville, Illinois. It's funny, you think of people saving old newspapers. I don't think of people saving old grocery ads. So that's kind of different. And then this is the good bingo. This is the second favorite bingo because it's got the good cards that have the really cool font on them. But this appears to be just about the full set, if not the full set. So it comes with these cards. It's got the rules, which also serves as the mat or whatever. I don't know what you call that. And then, oh, yep, just more cards. So it's, I don't know how many cards it comes with, but then it's also got the wooden number pieces, and they used just plain wood pieces to cover their cards. Blotter, you know, instead of the blotters. And then it's got a shaker box that has all of these in it, and I won't take it out, but there's like a little hole at the end of the box. Peanuts moving around. There's a hole at the end of the box so that just one would come out at a time. So a full set. And this is dated well, Milton Bradley, you almost always have the name on the, okay, it's on the top, 1960. But yeah, I love those cards. They're a good size, and like I said, I really like the font. Oh, Amy, get the rubber band back on this box before you lose it. Peanut, are you sitting on the rubber band? Yes. The rubber band that may break very easily, because you know how rubber bands are on old things. But it seems to be working pretty well. Is there anything else? Oh, there's one other thing in here. Hi, let me take a brief moment out of our video to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Junk for Goats. Junk for Goats is my business where I sell and resell vintage, antique, and some modern ephemera for all of your junk journaling or crafting needs. I have shops on Etsy, Whatnot, and I list my digital items on my coffee shop. All of the links for those are below in the description, so please check that out. It's also important to note that 10% of all the proceeds from my sales are used to purchase goats from Compassion International. Those goats are provided to families across the world to help them meet their own families' needs in terms of their diet, but they can also take and sell the milk and the cheese that they produce from their goats to their friends and family nearby, helping to provide them with an income source that is valuable in the areas in which they live. So if you would like to craft with a difference, please check out the description below. And as always, thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. So I got this it says it's a magazine, Antiques Magazine, March 1940. So would this have been like showing what magazine or what things were considered antique back in the 40s? So, okay, well, definitely a different set of antiques than what you'd find today. I'm trying to see if this is just... So it looks like it has a whole list of places you can buy antiques all around the country. Missouri, in St. Louis, there's the North American Electric Lamp Company. That's the only place for St. Louis. So it's a collector's guide to dealers in the back of this, but it's got cool stuff to cut out. Okay, good. Here's some advertisements for places. Several pages of these, but again, these, if they don't have them lined up right, you end up losing one side. Okay, so several pages of that, and then I don't know, you guys. I guess it's showing us antiques. So if you're looking for these, which, okay, there's a picture of tablespoons right here. 5 Blanchard tablespoons. Oh, they're all different. And it's showing you what the mark looks like on each of them. But it doesn't have prices, and it doesn't say what year on those. Now there's a cup over here that was from 1822, or it's inscribed 1822. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, of course, back here when they were looking at antiques, like a lot of the stuff that we consider antiques anymore is from like our parents' time, and you're not seeing toys in this. So obviously toys were different back in the early 1800s. You know, they would have probably had wood toys, and I don't know, but it's definitely got lots of things to cut out, and it was different, and I liked this. So I don't know how much this was, and it's been taken off. Let me see if it was one that was written in. But yeah, I like finding stuff older. Like I'm used to, for old magazines, I've seen old McCalls and Delineator, you know, the ones that were sewing and stuff. But beyond that, I mean, I realized this was 1940, but I don't know. It seemed like the 40s, part of that was wartime. So would we really have been, well, 1940, I guess, would have definitely been wartime. So would we have, like, cared about antiques during then? I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to get this stuff out of the way because the last thing I have for this video is pictures. So one of the stores, antique stores that we went to in Tennessee, was closing permanently, and I was able to make a deal for, there was a lady that had a whole basket full of pictures, like old pictures, and I was able to make a deal for the whole basket because I was like, if they're going out of business, my guess is these people want to sell their stuff instead of taking it home or trying to find someone else to sell it. Sorry, I'm I'm not being a very good host at the moment. But yeah, so it was, well, shoot, maybe it was not in Tennessee. Maybe it was one of the ones in Illinois, because I think I'd already made my big bartering deal for all the checks. And maybe it was after that. Maybe I was like on a high, like, oh, now I know that you can barter for things and not just pay what it says. Because I'm so used to the places here in town, you can't really, like, one place in town, I think they're allowed to give you 10% off if it's over a certain dollar amount. But usually the things I find are under that dollar amount. So I'm just used to paying whatever the price tag says. But anyway, so this was, I think, my second. So I've done 3 of those deals. I did a deal where I bartered for a whole box of checks and a whole bunch of binders of old receipts and stuff. And then I did this one for the pictures. And then I did the one in Litchfield for the 12 crates of who knows what. All right, so it's in a big bag because the $50 didn't include the basket. I should have arranged for it to include the basket, but I don't know if I can. So it's just a bunch of those old pictures, and I don't know the right terminology. If I were on Whatnot, like, I know there's real picture postcards, there's cabinet cards, but the ones that look like they used to be in an album, I don't know what they're called. So I haven't looked through these yet, and I'm not going to show them all. But, and quite honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with ones this big. So there's going to probably be, I mean, unless, what does it say back here? It says the WW Sunday School class of M.E. Church, Mr. Russell Giles, president, Christopher, Illinois. But it doesn't have a year on it. Now this one, if I had just been buying the pictures out of the basket as priced, this one was priced as $10. So, but again, I'm not really sure. It's also not a very good size for mailing. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. Then there were, and I could have flipped through them while I was in the store, but I pretty quickly decided I was going to try to make an offer on the whole lot. But we've got some that are just individual pictures. Like this one's great with the wagon. They were going to sell this for $1. Then you've just got some kind of probably family kind of photos. And they had each of these marked as $1. So I think probably this is from November 21st, 1949. Oh, 3 days after my dad was born. So yeah, so all of these little ones are marked $1. So there's several. I mean, I just pulled out a little handful here. And they're not in the greatest shape, but these are good to put in journals because you can write on the back of them. And people like that old-timey charm. Then there are some like this that are in, I think of these like as graduation pictures, but I don't know what they're called when they're in these. But this is not a graduation picture. But look at that cute little guy. And what would they have been charging on this one? Let me see if I can find anything written. Because I'm trying to figure out if I'm trying to figure out if I got a good deal on buying the whole lot. I think I did. I think I paid $50, and I think there's more than 50 pieces in here. Granted, some of them are this kind of quality and some of them are the individual, but I don't see a price on this one. So I don't know how someone was supposed to buy it. Unless there was a price on the, I don't think there was a price on the basket though. So, oh, this is a cool one. This one is Little Raymond. This one was going for $3. Little Raymond. And can you see that it's embossed down here at the bottom? So that's kind of neat. But there's no year. But this is a real picture postcard. So I would expect it to be worth more. This looks like it's somebody named Ethel, and this was going to be $3. Little Miss Ethel, her picture's falling out. So you could, you know, do that with these and repurpose the frame with your own picture of sorts. This would make great bookmarks or tag backings that you could put your own vintage advertisement pieces on to give them some weight. So I think that would be a lot of fun to kind of repurpose these things if you don't want to keep it with the picture. But for now, we'll put Miss Ethel back in. And it was not, this is also one of those pictures that has the metallic finish to it. But I'm trying to see if there's a year. I don't see a year on there. So we'll just put Miss Ethel back in for now. And yeah, it's very, the stuff is very chippy, meaning that it's very fragile. Pieces are just breaking off. This one, let me see if I see a pencil price. No, Kitty, you cannot eat this stuff. Aw. Maybe a husband and wife. We have a pencil price in here. Yeah, so I don't know how people were supposed to know what they would need to pay, but wouldn't this make a cool journal cover? If you cut it in half, you could put her on the front and him on the back, or make two separate journals. I think that would be really pretty. And then I don't know what these, some people call these cabinet cards too when they're the, but it doesn't have like the cool photographer's mark on the back. And really this looks like a picture that's just been glued onto a board. But two little girls. This one's in plastic. School Group, Benton, Illinois. Aw, that's lovely. Oh, this one does have a price on it. $12 for this lovely. So see, I did make my money in terms of what they were trying to charge for all of these pictures, which it's, I don't know. This is a tough one because it's hard to know if people will probably be more likely to buy them in a lot, but you gotta have a plan for what you're doing with them. Let me see if I can see what other kind of variety we've got in here. Okay, we've got a Pretty Lady. So this would be perfect for, this is Gertrude. They wanted $2 for Gertrude. But it would be lovely, even if you put this on the cover of a journal with some vintage photo frame tag thingies, whatever those are called. All right, there's several in ones like this. Again, look for the pencil price. I don't know. I don't see a pencil price on here, but got that. This, does it say? Oh, that is a lovely picture, you guys. So I wonder if this is a gentleman and his 5 daughters, or maybe it is a principal and his 5 teachers. I don't know. I think that's cool. Are these more, is this going to be the exact same one? No. Okay. Okay, so I think it was a father and his 5 daughters, because here is a bigger family picture with other, you know, the daughters and all the grandkids and the spouses and stuff. But the poor guy's wife didn't live long enough for this picture. But what a family. Like, that's awesome. So I kind of get sad when you see these things show up, like there was nobody in the family that wanted this stuff. Okay, here's a super old picture. I don't know. I guess because I'm the family genealogy person, I would be upset if we had a trove of family photos that ended up in an estate sale. Because whereas I've sat here and bought these, I don't know these people, so it's not, it doesn't like mean anything to me. And it's sad to me to think that these photos just get lost with time. All right, here's a man and his wife. I want to say this looks like Civil War era, but it doesn't have a year on it either. Maybe not quite as late as the Civil War, but old. And then here's another, these class pictures, you guys, I love these. But what do you do with it? Like, what would somebody legitimately do with this? If you get a hold of this, are you framing it and reselling it? I don't think it would sell. I think that's the you know, I might have gotten these for a good deal compared to what the seller was trying to sell them for, but what would I get if I tried to sell them? Not much. Now, maybe these would be good to sell on Whatnot, because people are constantly buying old pictures on Whatnot, but I really want to know what they use them for. Like I could see, okay, let's cut these up into strips and make postcards, or not postcards, but bookmarks or something like, but then that's sad. I'm too sentimental for this. So yeah, I'm curious what, I need to do some research on, or watch some videos on YouTube. And see what people do with them. Now this reminds me of a picture of my grandfather in a dress like this. So this makes me think the 20s, 1920s. But again, you could, like, this is in kind of rough shape. So you could harvest this for parts if you just wanted to have the kids' picture separate. But it's got this really neat embossed botanical image over there. All right, let's see what else. I said I wasn't going to show all of these, and I'm not, but I'm trying to see if did I luck into getting any cabinet cards, or are they really all just... over here on the side where there's some kind of smaller, I don't know, cabinet cards are easily resold because they're a size that people want, and those printer marks on the back are fantastic. So even if you don't like the picture, you might like the printer card. But here's just some more kind of loose photos. Here's a stadium. And if I were going to group them, I saw several with this kind of, excuse me, this mark on the back. So I would probably be trying to put them back together into their original kind of groupings. Now this is super cute. It's a real picture postcard. This is Mrs. Effie Flota, who lived from March 21st, 1883 to December 2nd, 1975, and daughter Wanda Lee and sister Frances. This one is super cute. Look at what is on the little girl's head. And she's holding something up, or maybe she's just holding on to her mom's shirt. But isn't that precious? So those are easily used. Oh, and it's one that's got the metallic finish. So I don't know. I know there's been a lot of talk lately about, I don't know if it's carnival glass or, you know, the lead based glass. And so people are like, be careful of that when you find it. But here's a pretty picture of somebody. And, oh, well, the frame has come undone from it. So you could reuse that for your own thing. More pictures. And then there's always the pictures that are either overexposed or I don't know what that is. I can't make anything out in that. So in that case, unfortunately, I would cover it with something else. And it's lost to everyone but Jesus. Okay, here, ugh. I'm glad they're showing the back side. I know hunting is necessary, but it makes me sad. Okay. But yeah, just some neat, I gotta figure out what these things are called. Oh, here's some more of those. Maybe there's just paper hats. Well, these probably are paper hats, unlike the other one. This is Gert. So I think, oh, and I love pictures like this. Those are fantastic. Or this is not very clear, but pictures with the old vehicles in the background. Okay, so just more, you know, I want to see, I really wish there were some cabinet cards in here, just because of how cute the backgrounds are. Just kind of a loosey-goosey. Okay, well, this lady, I'm pretty sure, is holding her baby in front of its carriage, but the baby washes out with the carriage being kind of the same color. Oh, now this one's cool. This is in some kind of a, well, it's not a barber shop. What is this? It's like there's a display case, but I can't tell. I can't tell. Maybe it's an optometrist? Is he giving the guy, is this guy giving this guy a eye test? I don't know. But yeah, I think we're not gonna find any cabinet cards that I can tell. I'll take one final look after, but I mean, I want to say this could be a journal cover too, but maybe not. Maybe not, because if you don't, I mean, just maybe not. Here's a cool one of 4 sisters. So yeah, if you've got ideas of ways that I could, well, this one was a real picture postcard. So those are easy to know how to use. And any of these little ones are easy to know how to use. It's ones like this or the big, well, even this isn't that big, but, oh, did we look at her already? We might have looked at her already. I didn't think I was covering up what I'd already done, but so yeah, I need to, I guess, do some more research. Here I'm all excited that I made this great deal, but if I don't know what to do with them, then it wasn't a good deal. And knowing what to do with these is not enough, I don't think, to recoup what I spent. But let me check really quick. One last check to see if there's any cabinet cards. My guess is not, just because cabinet cards would go pretty quickly. It's a little pack right here, so let me pull them out. But otherwise, I don't think there's any cabinet cards, because here's just more old pictures. I mean, they're pretty. I'm not sure what to do with them. And so any reasonable person would say, then you shouldn't have made that deal. But maybe I need to watch some Whatnot auctions for people that are selling these old pictures. But yeah, I never know what people buy. Like, what do people, well, when I bought things off of Whatnot, it was for like this, so that I could repurpose it and use it for junk journaling. But when people buy this kind of stuff, what are they doing with it? Are they hoping to just resell it for a profit? Or what? And there's no good way to ask that. Like, there's a chat feature and Whatnot, but you can't really go, what are you going to use that for? You can't really do that. So maybe I should, if I'm watching one of those shows, I should follow some of the people that are winning bids, and then I should message them and ask them what do they do with them. And maybe then I would know. All right, well, that was it for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed seeing these old things that I pick out. Let's do our nostalgic TV trivia. And I don't need to pull all the cards out. Just one would suffice. All right. What is Shields and Yarnell's claim to fame? In what year was Wagon Train first telecast? Which TV show had male star Peter Kastner dressed in women's clothes as its running gag? Who was the MC for Stop the Music and Double or Nothing? What was Archie Bunker's street address? Who played Kitten on Father Knows Best? Who portrayed Jill Danko on The Rookies? And what company created the Doughboy? All right, I might know a couple of these. What is Shields and Yarnell's claim to fame? The only Shields I know, you guys, is Brooke Shields, so I'm just going to say modeling, because I don't know who these people are. But it's TV trivia. And I I guess Shields would have been acting, but would she have been in TV yet? And if it's saying what is their claim, I could say the Blue Lagoon, because she kind of cut her teeth on that. I don't know if Yarnell was the boy in that movie, or I don't know. In what year was Wagon Train first telecast? Well, if I'm gonna make up a year, I'm just gonna say 1956. Which TV show had male star Peter Kastner dressed in women's clothes as its running gag? I have no idea. The only show that I know of that had people doing that was Bosom Buddies, and Peter Kastner was not one of those guys. And I don't even know, Bosom Buddies probably hadn't aired yet by the time these cards came up. So I don't know. Who was the MC for Stop the Music and Double or Nothing? I want to say Dick Clark, just because it's a music thing, but maybe he only did American Bandstand. I don't know. What was Archie Bunker's street address? Well, I want to say like Hauser Street or Hauser Court or something like that, but I have no idea what the number would be, like 123 Hauser Court. I don't know, and I don't even know if Hauser's right, but for some reason I feel like somebody lived on a Hauser Street. Who played Kitten on Father Knows Best? I don't know. Is that the same person that played Ellie on the Andy Griffith Show? I don't know. Who portrayed Jill Danko on The Rookies? Well, I think that was Kate Jackson, right? Did she leave Charlie's Angels to go to The Rookies, or was it vice versa? But I think it was Kate Jackson. Now, I'm a big Kate Jackson fan from Scarecrow and Mrs. King, because that was one of my favorite shows. But she got sick with cancer, and then it didn't live very long. And of course, by the time her and Scarecrow got together, that's when she got cancer, and it didn't end well. And she recovered, but they either were already done with the show, or like, I think she dealt with it in private. And so like the other people on the show didn't know what was going on and why she was all of a sudden taking all this time off. But I love that show. What company created the Doughboy? The Pillsbury Doughboy, perhaps? That would be my answer. All right, what is Shields and Yarnell's claim to fame? They're mimes. Okay, so not Brooke Shields, but that was the only Shields I knew. In what year was Wagon Train first telecast? Oh, I said 1956 and it was 1957. Which TV show had male star Peter Kastner dressed in women's clothes as its running gag? The Ugliest Girl in Town. Well, okay. I guess I could have said, right, MASH Klinger was always in women's clothes, but again, the name wasn't right. But okay, The Ugliest Girl in Town. Well, all right. Who was the MC for Stop the Music and Double or Nothing? Bert Parks. All right, what was Archie Bunker's street address? You guys, it is Hauser Street, so I get that right, but it's 704. I am taking the point. The fact that I could pull Hauser Street and I haven't watched that show for quite some time is pretty good. Who played Kitten on Father Knows Best? Lauren Chapin. Okay, that's not who I was thinking of from Andy Griffith's Show, but I think the girl from Andy Griffith's Show was on Father Knows Best. I think it was one of those shows. Who portrayed Jill Danko on The Rookies? It is Kate Jackson. I never watched that show, though. I should watch that show sometime if I can find it somewhere. And what company created the Doughboy? Pillsbury, of course. So I got Hauser Street, Kate Jackson, and Pillsbury. So 3 out of 8. Pretty good for me. Let me know how you did in the comments below. And let me know, I guess I should ask you guys, let me know if you ever have favorite, what your favorite thing was that I hauled in the video. But yeah, this one, I definitely could use some ideas on how to use those pictures so that I didn't just waste my 50 bucks. But if you want to be in the know with things happening with my shops, or if you just want to get a free printable, sign up for my mailing list. The link is in the description below, and then you'll be in the know whenever I'm getting ready to drop things in my sales or in my shop, so that you can be the first ones added if you're interested. It's definitely a way to help support me and my channel. If you didn't catch the video where I said Jason and I kind of budgeted out like what I need to sell per week, it's kind of at the $50 range, which I'm not going to be getting $50 anywhere anytime soon until I get a majority of these things listed in my shop so that I have stuff for people to buy. But yeah, just as a thank you for joining the mailing list, you get these. And the beginning of the month following your birthday month, if you gave me your birthday, you'll get another free digital. I do have other free digitals in my coffee shop where I keep all of my digitals, and all of that stuff is listed down below. But I just want to thank everybody for watching and sharing your time with me. I know it's valuable, and I hope you enjoyed this like I did. So wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care.